Good afternoon, everybody. It's David, and this is the next in my video log this is the second episode for the restoration of this 1969 Triumph GT6. It's the 24th of July today. It's about 4 in the afternoon, and it's actually been a pretty good day. Now, the stuff that I'm about to go over is from a couple of days of work, but a lot of it actually got done today. So I'll try and highlight some of the things that I've done, some of the problem areas that I found, a couple of little things, and some ideas about what I'm going to be doing next. So the first thing to notice is that the bonnet is off. That came off a couple of days ago. Got the bumper off and the front valance as well, or valance. And in doing that gave me a lot of room to start cleaning up underneath the engine compartment. Now, as I may have mentioned in the previous video, this car came without an engine, but I'll be putting in the engine from my 1968 GT6 Mark 1. This is a Mark II or a GT6 Plus, so it'll be a bit of a hybrid. So what else have I done today? Well, cleaned out all the various components along the front of the firewall here. Some of the relays, the solenoid, the master cylinders, those actually came out quite some time ago. And I'm just going to highlight over here on the battery box. As you can see, there is essentially no battery box. And as I look down in here, see if I can get some light on this as well, you can see this foot panel down here in the bottom in the front of the passenger compartment has got some rust perforations on it as well. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get that out and replaced or repaired, and then back in place before I put in the replacement for the battery box. Moving along, now this is in no particular order. This is not the order in which I did this stuff today or the last couple of days. You can see the windscreen, or maybe you can't, maybe it just looks really clean. Actually, no, it's not. The windscreen is out. It all came out in one piece, thank goodness. The seals were, I think, original factory seals, so they were, what's the best word to use here? Pliant. Oddly enough, they weren't really brittle, but they came out quite easily, and so did the windshield with just a little bit of pushing. Was able to get it out without any extra assistance, so just by myself. The other thing here, let me back up a little bit so it's a little more obvious, are the doors. Both the passenger and the driver's side doors came out today. And as part of that, I got all of the old trim, the old Furflex trim and everything off. Now, as we move inside, you can see this floor panel. Not a surprise. There's really no surprise there. That's to be expected. I saw all of that earlier when I first got the car, and really, as everybody who's done a Triumph restoration knows, that is one of the first places to go. This floor pan over here looked pretty good until I got the door off and I was able to get in. Let me see if I can get in here a little bit closer. You can see right here against the edge of the inner sill, that's rusted through. So it looks like I'm going to have to do either just a sill replacement or replace the whole floor pan. I do have the floor pans that I got about 20 odd years ago, and the inner and outer sills, so I can use those to do the repair on this section. So hopefully that will be all the materials I need for that. These cross members here seem to be in pretty good condition. There's no perforations, there's a little bit of surface rust, but otherwise everything seems to be in pretty good shape. The rest of the floor pan here, the center seems to be in pretty good shape as well. No major rust there. The back here on the panel, or what would that be called? The parcel shelf, I guess, is in pretty good condition as well. I've been over that with the pokey screwdriver test, and everything seems really solid. And then moving up here into the wheel wells, the wheel arches, this one on the passenger side looks really, really good. A little bit of surface rust, but not very much. I pulled the carpet off of that, and all the original glue came out, and it looks like it's actually in pretty good shape. So I'm really happy with that. When we come around to the back, I also got the rear hatch off, and was again pleasantly surprised to find that even in areas along here, after I got the trim off, the metal seems to be in very good condition. No major problems. A little bit of surface rust to be cleaned up, mostly just cosmetic, I think. So again, that made me quite happy. Down here, there's a little bit more surface rust than on the top edge, but I suppose that's not surprising. You'd expect the water to accumulate near the bottom, and otherwise it looks pretty good. Now, down here in the back, I was a little bit disappointed to find some holes in the rear valence. So you can see there's some there, and then over on the other side, pretty much mirrored, there's a few over there. Now, in between, the metal seems to be in pretty good condition, but we'll have to wait until I get at it with a wire brush and see what it looks like underneath. And coming around to the other side, pretty much just a repeat of the passenger side. Again, the windows and doors have all come out, and I've started removing the last of the interior bits of trim. You can see the trim pieces that were over the wheel arches are gone. I pulled those out in one piece. Those came out very nicely. The last bit of carpet, which was over top of the rear wheel arches, came out as a single piece. I pulled it out fairly carefully. So hopefully I may be able to use that for a template if I do the carpeting by myself. If I get a molded kit or something like that, I guess that will not be necessary. And then on the inside here, the only other bit that I kind of worried about is right around here, around the seatbelt point. Now, there's a bit of rust there, not surprising, I guess, but then just behind it, there's this other spot of rust that I'm not really sure what's caused that. So I'm going to have to see what that looks like, how deep that is, and whether it's going to be hard to fix. Don't know yet, but time will tell. All right, and that's pretty much what got done over the last few days. I'm very pleased. It's moving along fairly well. Interestingly enough, just on a little side note, my wife and my sister-in-law keep telling me that now that I'm retired, I should take up yoga or something like that, just to ensure that I'm, I remain flexible and fit and all that sort of stuff, now that I'm not going to be walking back and forth to work anymore. Quite frankly, I don't think they've ever managed to work inside a little British car. I don't think yoga is really a necessity if you're going to be working inside a little car like this. Or maybe it is a necessity. Hard to know. Is it the chicken or the egg? Do you get in and out of your car better because you've decided to take up yoga, or getting in and out of your car make you better at yoga? Anyway, that's today's video log, and thanks very much, and we'll see you again soon.